Hi. So I just got back from Babatunde's concert in Pittsburgh, and it was amazing. But this is the intro to my videos. Made a wreath for my door. I really wanted to get like woodsy inspired and mushrooms because if you don't follow me on Instagram, then you don't know that I am a mushroom enthusiast. I'm part of the Western Pennsylvania Mushroom Club. You just got a glimpse of the finished wreath because it's not finished yet. But I love mushrooms. I love going out and foraging them. I love trying to identify them. Am I good at the Latin names? Absolutely not. but I wanted to include them in my wreaths because, as you can see back there, I do have a lot of flowers and I do make my own wreaths and I do incorporate them into some sculptures and things. So I want to take you along for that ride. I hope you like it. I hope you like the end of it. And also, look at these pictures of me and him. Oh my goodness. Wonderful. A man's so sweet. If you get a chance, go see him when he is around again, because I don't think I'll get this out before his tour is over, but hopefully maybe. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the rest of the. So, we're gonna go ahead and bake the mushrooms first and then do the wreath. I think because I really need to get that into the oven to bake and decorate. You're gonna have to excuse my voice. But so yeah, so that's kind of the plan. And then I'm gonna decorate it with vines and do any touch-ups, and should be easy peasy. Okay. All right, let's start this bad boy. So I realized that I had said we were gonna do the mushrooms first, and I did. But we may have put the videos out of order, and once that accidentally happened, oops. So I want to show you some mushrooms from some of my hikes as we go through just organizing the flowers, putting them on, trying to see what fits. If you know any of the mushrooms, definitely comment them down below with the timestamp so everybody can know. We got some mushrooms on here. We got some slime molds as well. This one, the last three up to this one, are all different types of slime molds. They're fantastic. We got some, I believe that's a bolute. That is a shrimp of the woods. Those things are fantastic. They're fungus that have been parasitized by other fungus. These little guys are freaking everywhere. They have a cute name, and I have no idea what it is. That one, I don't know. So if somebody knows, please. I believe that's an ink cap that just haven't started inking yet. These are ghost pipes. I love ghost pipes. They're a parasitic plant, and that's their flower. Technically, not a fungus, but they're gorgeous, and I always find them. And I just absolutely love them. Some coral. These come in various colors, so if you see them, they're great to find. We got some little puff balls, so those are always nice as well. And these ones, I'm not sure. Somebody said they were called Devil's Dick, but and I may have just gotten myself demonetized. We don't know. So we're still trying to like clip and prune and put on all of the thingies. But right now we're gonna get into the mushrooms. So here I'm making my ink caps, right? So like they are pretty much just pinching and pulling the ends to simulate when the ink caps dissolve. That's how they spread their spores. And we're just trying to make it look ragged and kind of like dripping. I did go in with this bent piece of wire because I wanted a more organic sort of lines than what you get with a silicone tool. And then we're just kind of wrapping a wormy dealy around some wire here to act as the base, the stems. Next up are our Amanita, I can't talk today. Okay, we're just gonna give up. So I did make 3 of these. You can see me going in and putting the little dots on the top, and then I take my metal tool and kind of rough them up a little bit more because they weren't looking quite as organic as I wanted them to. But it was kind of a rinse and repeat with that. So here's a little stabby roughing them up. I use this metal tool a lot in when I'm doing mushrooms. So after the bake, we ran into an issue and everything kind of just got stuck together. It's their ink caps, so we'll just go with the ruggedness of them. Doing some little bloopity bloops. It's time for the paint. Splook it on. Blip, blip. Um, Base coated everything with just kind of like a cream colory sort of situation. That way I had a nice base for the rest of the paint to kind of stand out on. I did go back on the ink caps and do kind of a gray wash on them um, before putting on the black paint that you see here. Here we're just trying to get the ends. And I did then go in with a very, very watered down acrylic paint and allowed it to drip down through the cracks to give it more depth and make it look more ink cappy. Here we're painting the amanitas. Probably shouldn't say here we're painting ever after everything. But they get red cap, white base, white dots. I did have to go back in. I was kind of sloppy with my red paint and just kind of clean up some of the white dots. But it all turned out in the end. It was good enough. So next, I'm doing the cracked capped polypore. And for that, I needed to have a wire base for that to sit on. And, when doing armature, it's best to try to fill out as much as possible with aluminum foil, not sponsored by Reynolds Wrap sitting there. It just happened to be in the shot. But I do, like I said, go for a more organic look. So I don't roll things out with the pasta roller, and y'all might hate that, but I'm sorry. Uh, it is what it is. So we're putting some bacon bond on it and then smushing it all on. For the crack cap though, I do have my reference here. These are also called artists mushrooms or artist caps, because on the underside of them you can carve into them and make really whatever design, really pretty designs, really ugly designs, landscapes. I've seen a bunch of things, but they're kind of felted, and I wish I would have shown it here, but they feel felted because of all of the polypores, and that's what you see me doing here is simulating the polypore texture. But then they carve and mark up real easy, so they're great for all kinds of different craft projects. So if you didn't know, now you do. Whenever you're doing clay, you can put chalks, or here I use eyeshadows, on wet clay before baking. You can use that as the only color that you put on it, or after it's done baking, you can paint over it. Like here, adheres it onto there. I'd started out with a small brush, gave up on that pretty quickly, and then just started going in with some mixed tones. After that, it was all dry brushing, just dry brushing darker tones, dry brushing lighter tones, trying to get it to look kind of similar to said cracked cap that is there on the left-hand side. These are common across the United States. I'm not sure that there's any place that they don't grow, at least one or two of the species, but they're pretty common. A lot of hardwoods. I think they can go on softwoods too. So if you see them, just give them a little nod. They take forever to grow. The tree is probably on its way out if you see them, and it's not their fault. They only inhabit dying trees. So, that is what it is. So we're gonna dip. We're placing the mushrooms on and doing a little more filler. I kind of futzed around with these a little bit. I wanted to get good placement for where they were going to like really show off themselves. There is the amanita. That was a yellow amanita. And these little balls of sunshine, look at them. All over this log, they were inhabiting the whole thing. I'm pretty sure they're yellow oysters. These are all baby yellow oysters, possibly. Just because there was already oyster mushrooms at the very end. My friend and I were calling them little sunshine mushrooms because, I mean, look at them. They're absolutely gorgeous. They were just this big burst of yellow on this moss-filled log that was going across the creek. We were out hunting for chanterelles, and on the way back, these are the little guys that we found, and they're just absolutely beautiful. I wish I would have taken more pictures. They're so photogenic. It's ridiculous. But so with that, we are getting the final things on, and let's go to the final results. Hi. Oh. Copyright. Okay, so I finished. We finished the wreath, and it looks amazing on my door, and I am so happy about it. And this is just not staying in this little thing that I did with my bangs. Okay, but I really hope you enjoyed it. This is my first video in fucking years. So I'm learning new editing software. I'm learning my new camera. Bear with me. It's gonna be an adventure for all of us. But I hope you like the content. I keep looking at the viewfinder like that's where I'm supposed to look. The little dot that's tracing my face is hypnotizing. Well, okay, so coming up in the future, I'm going to be working on a few more projects that have been just sitting on a shelf, half-ass finished. So they may come in partly done, and that's just what we're going to do. We're going to be taking things that are half finished and finishing them, and then working on some new projects as well. I have a snow leopard project that I'm going to be doing that was a suggestion by my partner. So hopefully you'll like that. I am not going to be showing the drawing of it. I fought with that for a while, and I'm still working on drawing it itself, and I think that would end up being like 2 or 3 videos just because of long content. But we will be doing the watercolor, which will, I mean, honestly, it's more fun, right? Watercolor. Than seeing me draw and erase and draw and erase and draw and erase and draw and erase. All right. Yes. Thank you so much for coming. Please subscribe, hit the magical little red button down below, and follow me on my socials. I'm at Veiled Artist on Instagram. Currently, it's at Broken Firefly on Facebook, but if you look up Cat Monster, I will also come up. Those are the only 2 platforms that I'm really on right now. I do have a Twitter account. I don't use it. I don't agree with Elon, but I appreciate him paying me for my stocks when he bought it. Yeah, that's everything. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you on the next one.